And on top of that, he's the most dedicated, the most intelligent, the most technical.
I think he's the first one to ever win 3 divisions.
It's like wrestling with a gorilla.
Ask who the best football player is, the best boxer, or the best martial artist. There would likely be some debate over who that person actually was. In BJJ, there is no debate. It's Gordon Ryan.
The King! Gordon Ryan!
He's the greatest no-gi jiu-jitsu competitor that's ever lived. Everybody's scared of him. He dominates everybody. He's won like 50+ matches in a row.
A 7-time ADCC world champion, 3-time IBJJF no-gi world champion, and 4-time Eddie Bravo Invitational champion. He established himself as the greatest no-gi grappler of all time, and he's not even 30 years old yet.
I've already done more than almost any competitor's ever going to do in their life, so who cares?
That being said, Gordon has still managed to amass more than his fair share of controversy, from public spats with former teammates to openly taking steroids.
Gordon Ryan, who's the greatest grappler of all time, openly admits to taking performance-enhancing drugs. And if you look at him, he looks like a guy who takes performance-enhancing drugs. He looks like a Greek god.
There is no shortage of drama in the life of the world's greatest submission wrestler. Today, we uncover the good, the bad, and possibly ugly aspects of Gordon Ryan's journey to the pinnacle of competitive grappling. Gordon Ryan was born July 8, 1995, in Monroe, New Jersey. When he was 15 years old, he began training in BJJ and left his initial gym to train with Gary Tonin, Tom DeBlas, and of course, John Danaher. A few short years later, Ryan was ready to begin competing at a higher level, winning the IBJJF World No-Gi title as a brown belt, inspiring him to quit his job as a bin man to train at the gym full-time. Later that same year, Gordon put on what many consider to be his first true breakthrough performance against top grappler Keenan Cornelius in a no-time limit, submission-only match. Due to his age and comparable lack of experience, Ryan went into the match as a sizable underdog, making it all the more impressive when he finally submitted Cornelius with a heel hook. In September 2017, Ryan participated in the ADCC World Championship. He won gold in the -88 kilogram division, overcoming opponents like Dylan Dennis, Romulo Barral, Zonde Ribeiro, and Keenan Cornelius. Additionally, he secured second place in the absolute category, submitting all his opponents before falling to Felipe Pena in the finals, kickstarting his first major rivalry in the sport. Although Gordon would go on to pretty much dominate the sport from this point onwards, his journey was not without adversity. In 2019, he was found to be suffering from a Helicobacter pylori infection, as well as a fungal growth in his small intestine, which was causing not only a great deal of pain, but also impacted his ability to train and compete.
Partially, I took a leave of absence. I guess I retired from grappling for a year because I couldn't even function as a human being, never mind I couldn't even hold the conversation. I was so nauseous all the time.
Ryan has still maintained his dominance in the sport, causing many to speculate on what exactly was giving Gordon his edge over the competition.
If you have the right mix of autism and steroids, you are guaranteed, 100% guaranteed, to become a world champion.
Former teammates Craig Jones and Nick Rodriguez have both speculated that a significant contributing factor to Ryan's success could be undiagnosed neurodivergence.
So, the biggest determining factor for success would probably be some level of autism. That's very important for a singular focus in this sport. Usually we can correlate social skills with your abilities in the sport.
And I was I just commented back, I was bro, honestly, it's hard for me to banter with you due to your autism. I feel bad. I feel bad going back and forth. I don't want to, it's kind of, is it bullying for me to talk bad about an autistic kid? And I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? It's not nice.
Although this is obviously a joke, there is something to be said about the mindset of somebody like Gordon Ryan. While Gordon may not actually have autism, personality, which sets his focus almost exclusively on jiu-jitsu, meaning his attention to detail regarding techniques is second to none.
An ability to work in the training room towards not just good technique, but excellent technique. More than anyone else that I've ever taught, he has a memory for things that were taught to him.
And it is this obsession with having perfect technique that means that over the course of a long match, Gordon will eventually be able to make any opponent crumble in time.
I think his style's very well suited for no time limit because he's not really an athletic guy. It's just all technique.
He's a sniper as far as when to do things, right? Like if he's let's take his wrestling for instance. If he's looking to foot sweep, he doesn't waste any energy. You know, he's really good. He's great at pacing, great at forcing the opponent to grapple at his own pace, never too high, never too low.
But along with this desire for perfection comes an inherent fear of failure that drives Ryan to avoid losing at all costs.
He's like, he will literally kill himself. He'll kill himself if he loses.
He has a pride in technique and technical prowess that will not allow him to settle for anything less than perfection.
But another key factor that many have considered to be instrumental in the story of Gordon Ryan is performance-enhancing drugs.
But then really the great equalizer would be steroids. If you give these guys steroids, because we don't enough money into the test, that actually gives these people with poor social skills a lot of confidence. And those are really the people that run the sport.
I mean, his biggest thing is steroids. That's, I mean,
you think it's purely...
I mean, the guy, you can't gain 50 pounds of muscle and be like, oh, it's irrelevant. No, it's super relevant. You wouldn't be half the thing, the person you were if you didn't do it.
Although this may appear to be a massive scandal to those on the outside of sport jiu-jitsu, those familiar with the sport know just how rampant steroid use is at elite level competition.
You can't be those guys unless you're taking steroids. That's just the sport. Gordon Ryan, who's the greatest grappler of all time, openly admits to taking performance-enhancing drugs, openly talks about it because everybody's doing it. And he's just honest. He's just like, yeah, I take them. Everybody's taking them. They're not illegal in our sport.
And in fairness to Ryan, he has been very open and honest about his steroid use and his reasons for taking it.
People don't care. When people look back in 10 years, they're not going to remember that argument that you made that you were on steroids, that he was on steroids and you were natural. They're going to remember this guy won and this guy lost. And that's as simple as it is. When people look back on my career, he's a 7-time ADCC champion. That's all they're going to remember.
This doesn't stop others who claim to be competing naturally from taking umbrage with Gordon being so open about PEDs.
He's
I know when
red,
he gets on steroids because I'll get like a random text like you suck.
Wait, he'll text you random shit?
He went on like a tirade about me being on steroids. I'm like, bro, you literally used to ask me for steroid advice. Like,
if we are being honest about exactly why Ryan is the best grappler in the world, we have to look a little deeper. Yes, having a natural propensity for learning and taking a significant amount of steroids will take you far. But without the right coaches and training partners, development will be slow. In this sense, Gordon was very lucky to be living in the same city as one of the greatest minds in the sport when he first started.
Like, it would have been amazing to be like a Nicky Ryan, born right next to New York and got to train with someone, or the people in that team, or have that coaches. But again, like, we're all not that lucky. I didn't even train with a black belt till I was already a purple belt. You know, like, Gordon grew up in New Jersey, close to John Danaher. I'm not denying that he put in the work to get where he is, but that's lucky. That's lucky.
Came up to me, pushing me, calling me a pussy, and I smacked you in your mouth, and you walked away from me.
As a person, I think he's just like kind of a like delusional con man liar.
so he'll talk about like if you use steroids that you're mentally weak. And then like his very next post will be like, I'm depressed and I'm sad and like, you know, we really need to like talk about mental. It's just like, bro, just do your thing and leave everybody else alone. Like on WhatsApp, he'll post something and I'll be like, hey, we can just fist fight if you want. And then he just like, I don't want any part of that.
While these spats are usually nothing more than minor beefs between two athletes, sometimes things can take a much more concerning, darker turn. In 2021, another rival of Ryan, Santos, posted a picture of his young daughter on social media. Santos insinuated he was going to sexually assault Ryan's girlfriend, but pretending to find infant children attractive is a strange comeback to someone threatening your partner, to say the least. What stirred up the most noise, though, was the Danaher Death Squad team split in 2021, with Gordon and John forming New Wave, and Craig, Nicky, and the others are starting the B team. At first, common speculation on the reasons for the team breaking up revolved around the big egos all sharing the same mats together. One suggestion was that tensions arose when Gordon insisted that he take Nicky Rod's spot as the team's heavyweight. The real reason was being very much kept from the public eye.
That is the smallest aspect of why we separated. The real reasons would blow your mind.
In truth, it was friction between Gordon Ryan and his younger